fond of bow starts myself. Bow's a very powerful weapon, and it lets you complete Eastern right off the bat. And it looks like we are off already.
All right.
Link taking his life savings with him, $100 in his house. And I gotta point out, Shady Force is playing as the pointer. That's just I can't get over that.
The mouse cursor. You just think there's also a mouse cursor in his timer too, so it's like a inception there. Which one's the real Link?
Well, here's the hammer on the uncle.
Oh, that's a nice find. Hammer's a very a nice weapon to get early, despite its low hitbox, small hitbox. I mean, it is a very powerful weapon. Does about tempered sword damage to most enemies in this game. Ooh, the mirror.
Yeah, that's a nice find too. That'll actually save us a bit of time and escape if our runners remember that they can mirror straight out of Zelda's cell to get back to the beginning.
Saves about, I don't know, a little over a minute so that of walking back from the cell, just mirror back to the beginning and carry on from there. So I expect to see a lot of sub-6 escape times here.
Oh yeah, if you're an NMG player and you're hoping to get your sub-6 escape, just play rando and get the mirror and escape. That's the trick.
Either get the mirror, get the boots, any one of those items will get you through the escape a lot faster.
Oh boy. We get a glove. This is already a stacked escape.
Yeah, getting a glove and hammer this early, that's 2 out of the 3 items necessary for Dark World access. So we could be seeing some really early Dark World accesses right from the escape.
This is true. We're waiting on either another glove or a... Oh no, we don't need another glove. We need a moon pearl. That's what we're waiting on.
Yeah, another glove or a moon pearl.
No, we need the moon pearl no matter what. No matter how we're going to get to the Dark World, that moon pearl's going to be important. You see the strength of that hammer on that guard there. The hammer does tempered sword damage. So 1 pot and 1 hammer will do it. Uh-oh. Zetz has forgotten about that mirror.
Oh no. Well, it looks like Zetz will be walking back unless he all of a sudden remembers that he does have the mirror and can mirror back. But yeah, I guess there is really no wrong way of getting out of escape as long as you do get out of escape.
The other 3 runners who did remember the mirror, they are all in sync. They're just within a second of each other making their way through this snake room.
And obviously later in the game, when you do see some sync, it's always a trip to see that after so-and-so X amount of minutes, they are still in sync. It's wild. Alright, just 20 rupees in that chest. Nothing really significant here, but it is nice that they have at least 100 rupees going into Kakariko for that bottle vendor item.
Absolutely. And it looks like 3 of our runners already have picked up a bomb here and escaped. Shady Force, the only runner without a bomb. So we'll see here on the right-hand side of the screen what's in the back of escape. Just a heart container, a red rupee, and a map. So missing out on the back of escape isn't going to limit the items that Shady Force has. It'll just be a psychological issue. You're going to have that gnawing at the back of your head.
It could be an item that you may need for Dark World access, and there are very limited locations, and it's just going to be a place that's going to be like, okay, is my go mode item in there? Is the item I need in there? And he may opt to go in there a little bit later, so it will take some time. But oh wow, so we're all talking about sub 6 escapes. We're looking at a sub 5 escape now even.
Shady Force picks up a bomb drop there, so that'll be helpful. There are some places you need to bomb when you get to Kakariko.
There are 3 locations in Kakariko Village, and then the race game is also another bomb location in case you need it. So 4 is usually a safe amount.
Yep, and the tree pull today is a set of total of 4 bombs, so pretty good.
Exactly what he needs.
And we just saw $20 there on the Lumberjack ledge, so it is quite unlikely that we're going to see an Aghanim kill to pick up $20.
Ah, Agaded. Well, Agaded Part 1. We'll see the other... we'll see if they don't get any items to progress the game at that point, and they, in fact, have to go to Aga to get into Dark World. A Moon Pearl being on the pyramid could be still in play.
Zertnal is showing us a very early sequence break, taking the old man up to his house on Death Mountain. With the mirror and the hammer, we have a lot of access in this part of the world.
I like that play. An early glove will get you up to the mountain right away, and it's not a play you usually see this early on, because the glove usually you get a little bit later, but having it that early gives him this option, and he took it.
Yep, and we call it a sequence break because the game expects you to have the lamp if you're going to make that trek, so we know if we find the lamp or the flute up here, those are our Death Mountain access. It gives us some information about where the other one has to be.
But judging based on the skill of these runners, I'm sure they're well versed in their lampless strats and doing dark rooms. Wow, Blind's Hut, just not really giving out, but certainly paying out a lot of rupees in this hut. They do have enough money for Zora right now, but I assume they're gonna be paying the bottle vendor, and we'll be looking to get more rupees for Zora and for Pod, potentially.
And it looks like we just got a rod there in the well. I think it was a fire rod. Kind of hard to tell on this grainy commentary restream. Uh-oh. Shady Force walked into the bomb and died.
Oh no.
It's not too long of a walk, but that's got a sting.
It's pretty much I think we just saw a lamp from from Walter.
Lamp on the bottle vendor, so both fire sources here in Hera, and Zertnal found out that Hera is both fire sources in Kakariko. Zertnal found out that Hera is locked by a fire source.
Oh, that's highly unfortunate. He did make the trek up there. Once he sees that he gets the lamp from Kakariko and the fire rod, both items needed to light that torch, he'll be kicking himself. But those are the gambles you take.
Shady Force did take advantage of that death to respawn at Sanctuary and check the back, so that's something that's out of Shady Force's mind now. And Zertnal just died there. I don't know if that one was intentional or not. Those, if Zertnal was on the east side of Death Mountain, those red Tektites I know do 2 hearts of damage, so that could have been the cause of that.
For sure. It is especially you have to be on high alert with the green mail. A lot of these enemies in the light world, especially on Dark Death Mountain, or not Dark Death Mountain, but Death Mountain and the southeast corner of the map. A lot of those enemies do 2 hearts of damage, and just 2 hits will do it.
And we've gotten the book from the race game.
Interesting. That definitely opens up. At least it opens up Desert Palace for chests to be collected. We're not really sure. We can't be too sure. It might be boots locked.
Yep, and we haven't even seen a map check yet. Oh, wait, I take it back. We have a map check right now. We've got crystals at Eastern and Desert and a blue pendant at Hera.
All right, Walter heading to the swamp area.
Yep, uses the mirror there to cancel that block. When the block is moving, you can hammer the mirror button and it will just disappear, and it'll let you do these damn checks in one trip rather than two into and out of the building.
And that is one of the very many glitches we'll see in this version of the randomizer. And this version of the randomizer is based off the Japanese 1.0 version of the game, which was very well coded, and there are several glitches in which these runners are going to take advantage of to optimize the game and their movement a little bit.
Yep, and Zertinal made their way right back to Paradox Cave and found a shovel, and I believe it was the Quake medallion in there.
So a little early fetch quest here. That early shovel could give us something really, really important. Maybe the Moon Pearl. That would put him ahead for sure.
There's the Moon Pearl.
Ah, okay, so Walter now, first of our runners to have Dark World access. We'll see what he decides to do here. I assume since he's still going, he's going to check Ice Rod Cave and probably maybe do a fake flipper.
Yep, Walter has sufficient money for Zora. With the Moon Pearl, the Waterfall Cave check is possible. You need the Moon Pearl to make that check if you're fake flippering.
Yeah, the Moon Pearl lets you go into that waterfall, I think, and at least walk in there and get the chest, because you do go in there and you are initially swimming, and then you have to toggle yourself in and out of the dungeon of the little cave, the waterfall cave, to spawn yourself walking.
Yep, and the game checks if you have the Moon Pearl to determine whether or not it's going to reset your state to walking. That's why you need the Moon Pearl to get that there.
Oh, but Walter opting to save and quit. I think he's thinking Dark World right now.
Yep, you have all the tools for Dark World, so you can perhaps leave those checks behind. Maybe you don't have to do them at all. Maybe you can route them in a little more efficiently. We have the mirror, so checking the Zora area when you check, say, the catfish is a good play. If you have the flippers at that time, you can check the Waterfall Cave too. Yes,
definitely, and also the Pod Eastern area too. That's a highly efficient check, especially with the mirror. That's a lot of items in that area, but looks like we're seeing a green pendant pod and a pendant swamp. So flippers may not be needed here. Always required, but came in.
Yeah, flippers may not be absolutely required because you can fake flipper into Ice Palace. The logic, of course, yes, you're right, still expects you to get them.
All right, our first dark hype cave check.
Oh, I think that's pretty hype. We get the boots from Hype Cave, as well as our first bottle containing a red potion.
Ooh, gotta go fast. Boots in NEC definitely makes the seed like way more interesting. I don't like seeing slow seeds.
Yep, a few days ago I was watching some of our community members beta test the competitive mode that'll be in version 30, and that gives you guaranteed boots. It's designed to give runners a chance to show off their execution skills. So among them, early boots is guaranteed in that mode. So when version 30 rolls around, you can try that out if you like your early boots.
Oh, wow, a very early check here, Walter. Going to the Bombos tablet.
Yep, you're in this part of the world, you have the book, you want to know if you have to come back here once you get a sword, or specifically 2 swords to unlock whatever's on those tablets. And we just learned that Desert is boots locked, so that's good for Walter.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna come here and we'll be able to full complete it. He's gonna have to beat those Lambos with the hammer if he decides to do it.
Yep, I think he'll try to stock up on magic and use as much fire rod as possible.
Ah, yes, I totally forgot that he does have the fire rod. Much faster choice, killing Lambo.
Oh, that's a really sweet bonk that Walter just did to get across that guy. I did not know you could do that.
Yeah, I might have to steal that.
So Zetz gets her boots here in Hype Cave.
Oh, we got Zertnal digging up a red ruby with the shovel, so not paying off for him. Well, really, it is paying off in rubies, but not really paying off as far as progression.
Zertnal gets the not Zertnal, Walter gets the first of 2 items in Desert. That was just a bomb capacity upgrade. And is taking a death warp to get back to the beginning, it looks like.
Yeah, opting to use the Death Warp to probably get more hearts. He does have the mirror, which would have gone him back to the beginning, but I think to refill his health, he's got a low health count, and it's always smart to do.
And gets a full heart container from the big chest. So that's both of the items in Desert. So Shady Force, who went over to Desert without the boots earlier, is not missing out on items, but it certainly seems like Walter's going to be the first of our restreamed runners with the crystal.
Mm-hmm. And Zerno actually just picking up just a piece of heart from the digging game, and smartly mirroring and checking the race game, so he's going to pick up his book.
Walter does not seem to be bothered too much by the hammer's limited hitbox. There we go. That's a great pickup of magic there for the boss.
Oh, I thought he would actually. He looked like as if he was going to leave it, but and it wouldn't respawn. But luckily, he went back into the room and it was still there. So, yeah, a great find there.
And Walter's going to choose to conserve as much of that magic as possible by using the lamp to light these torches. Each of those worms will take 2 fire rod shots, I believe. So that's enough magic to take all 4 out if you don't miss them. And Zetz, I believe, is the one who just checked the sick kid and got the mushroom. I know it was on the left side. I think it was Zetz.
Oh, wow. So a fetch leading to a fetch.
Yeah, Walter unfortunately gets a short hop there. Ooh, and another one.
These Lambos can be very trolly. Oh, and he makes it. He had just one fire rod shot left to finish the last Lambo, and he gets his first crystal. First of our runners.
So Zertnal is here doing the traditional Kakariko checks you'd normally see, 10 minutes prior to this, because Zertnal, if you're just joining us, made a sequence break play up Death Mountain that didn't really turn into much.
Certainly, but he's definitely routing in some of the Dark World Kakariko stuff as well, so Well, maybe not yet, but he can at least route into Dark Kakariko from here. Aghanim, unfortunately, just giving us a piece of heart, so I assume Walter will opt to go back to. We'll head towards the village of outcasts at this point. Maybe the mountain.
Yep, we'll see where Walter turns here. Turning up, so the mountain it is. Oh, the bonk rocks first. That makes sense. Where did Shady Force get the flute? There, Shady. That's where Shady Force got the flute. There we go.
Okay, so bonk rocks.
Thank you, Rando. Thank you, Walter, for answering my question.
Well, this is especially good routing now. Okay, I guess he's maybe heading towards the mountain or doing a lumberjack cave check, but
Yeah, I think this is going to be a lumberjack check. I think he'll turn on the flute rather than walk through the... I think it might be a little faster to turn on the flute. A lot of runners will leave this lumberjack check until they have the boots, since they know no matter what, they can't get the item without the boots anyway. So Zertinal going off and doing his own thing here in the Skull Woods area.
Let's check in Skull Woods. I'm gonna make note here is that he doesn't have a sword yet, so he actually cannot complete Skull Woods, but he does have the fire rod and can get into the back. Ooh, I think we're getting a ped check from Zertinal.
Indeed.
All right. So is our pedestal dreams alive? We'll find out.
Not so much.
Unless they feel compelled to get more money and increase their wallet a little bit. Ooh, we're getting our first mushroom check. This could be good.
Just a piece of heart. Walter does opt to pick it up and gets a full heart container for it. A lot of runners will still seek out life. The usual rule of thumb a lot of runners go by is trying to get a full row of hearts.
Absolutely, especially getting Dark World access this early and access to those dungeons can definitely be a tough ask with Green Mail trying to get through some of these dungeons. So the more health you can get right now is the better.
Apparently we also got the ice rod there in Paradox Cave in the lower portion with the 2 chests. I didn't catch that when Zertinal got it, but our trackers today did. So let's show some support and appreciation for them. Quads are hard.
Yeah. Singles is tough enough. Doing 4 is definitely it's definitely very tough. So got to give some credit to our trackers today. But yeah, no ice rod trolls for us today.
It's cool to see, even in a standard mode seed, just a tremendous amount of divergence like this. It makes it trickier to commentate, but I think it makes it more enjoyable to watch.
Absolutely. Especially with Dark World access this early and the items available to them, there's just so many options for where they could go, like Fire Rod Lamp, Mirror gives us Tower of Hera, the book opens up Desert Palace, etc.
Yep, and apparently we've got the hook shot from Stumpy, which our runners picked up during that South Dark World check. I feel like I've been missing everything.
I know. Trying to manage 4 different screens here is especially tough. But the hook shot is is a really early, a really great early find here for these runners.
Zertinol is going to be giving us a check of the graveyard ledge here. And Zet has learned that the basement of Tower of Hera is fire rod locked, and is not opting to continue it since it's a pendant. And Zertinol just got the Bombus medallion from the graveyard ledge.
Oh wow!
That could be really big because graveyard ledge is one of those locations that runners will often just leave for a really long time.
Mm-hmm. Looking to route in maybe a catfish afterward. But yeah, he's got 2 of our 3 medallions, and those medallions are required to get into Misery Mire and Turtle Rock, which are both crystals. They are required, so we're in really good shape for at least getting into those dungeons.
Yep, the randomizer will randomize the entrance requirements of those dungeons, so it's not necessarily Ether and Quake like it is in the vanilla game.
Mm-hmm. All right, looks like Zertinol is heading back towards the village of Outcasts. Probably see him go into Thieves Town, and Kemp will complete it with that hammer.
Yep, Hammer Blind is not the most fun fight, but it can be done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Make note here. We are still 27. We're 27 minutes into the seed, and we don't have a sword still. So, so we're gonna see a lot of swordless strats from our runners on these bosses.
Or not.
Or. Yep.
I think that one actually counts as commentator's blessing. So first sword from the chest game there in Village of Outcasts.
Well, yes, getting that sword is going to make that blind fight a little bit easier. Knowing the strats for blind, the sword is definitely the easiest technique to use on blind, other than Red Cane.
Sword is the traditional strat, and Red Cane is a swag strat.
Mm-hmm. Zertinol just getting a hard piece in the first chest. That is 1 of 4 items in this dungeon that you could potentially get.
Yep, and a heart piece in the second chest.
Okay, so double hearts. Thieves Town just giving the health, making sure you're in good health for blind.
Yep, there's a big key. We know that one's got to show up in the first 4 chests.
Mm-hmm. Because in order to get to the back, you do need the big key to get there. All right, and just compass in the 4th chest, meaning 2 items are in the back, and we'll see what comes. All right, you'll see on Zertinol's side, he's approaching the Hellway here. One of the most difficult rooms to get through in Zelda: A Link to the Past, and with the hookshot, he makes it look pretty simple. Getting just past those Trolley Patrick stars is especially difficult. All right, Walter, making his way towards the Dark Kakariko area. We'll probably be looking to get into Thieves Town as well, but we'll see what he decides to do here. Decides to go up and check Skullwoods. Looks like he's going to Dark Kakariko, so maybe picking up his sword very soon here.
Yep, picking up a sword before heading into Skullwoods will save a little bit of time. You get another piece of heart from from Thieves Town.
Again with the health, but taking a lot of damage here. He's got to be a little careful.
Yep, we don't have the small key yet. That means the small key has to be locked in the big chest behind itself.
So the small key is hammer locked. That's what we call that. Checking our stun prize, it is just 5 rupees. I think he was hoping for a heart there, but he does have a red potion should he need to use it.
Yeah, Zernal not taking any chances, chugging that potion before the fight begins.
A little red Kool-Aid for a little bit more health.
Zernal gets a little bit off what we call the script, the standard pattern you can force blind into if you do the same thing every time. But I don't think there's going to be any difficulty finishing this up. There it is.
He's doing a really nice job of dodging those fireballs. All right, just 300 rupees from blind, so not really paying off as far as progression in Thieves Town, but it is a required dungeon. It's crystal, so he's got his first crystal. It's got it on the map here.
Yep, all of our runners with 1 crystal. 3 of them got it from Landmo, and Zertanol gets it from blind.
Yeah, Shady Force getting a little trolled by these little beetles and the fire snake. As much as possible, I try to avoid falling down into the little pit to get into Skullwoods. I always try to find a key and go in from the big chest room.
Shady Force pulls off a bomb jump to get across to that big chest there.
See, now watching that bomb jump is a little crazy because I usually align the Link sprite with the bomb jump, but seeing the cursor do a bomb jump is especially interesting because cursors are supposed to float.
It's true. Unfortunately, Shady Force takes a death there. Shady Force took that death just after leaving the dungeon, so that's an overworld death. Shady Force doesn't get to respawn in Skullwoods.
Yeah, so it's highly unfortunate. He does have to get all the way back there, but with the flute and boots, not that big of a loss that it could have been. So it looks like we're seeing Zertan will go back into Skullwoods. Gonna be using that fighter sword to get to the back of Skullwoods, and we'll attempt to defeat the Moth with that fighter sword. Gonna be especially tough. It looks like all four of our runners are really descending upon the Dark Kakariko area now. So Shady Force is going to be picking up his first sword very soon here, and we'll probably head into the Thieves Town area now, having that sword.
So we're going to see Walter try the scripted fight here. Walter also gets a little bit off script. And he gets bottom blind. This is going to be a painful. Ugh.
Yeah, so you gotta be a little careful there. Yeah, once he gets off script there, there's really no telling what he does.
Yep, and Walter's not going to be able to use the usual script now because he's going to re-enter the room and Blind is already going to be spawned.
Yeah, and when he's spawned on top, it's actually really hard to get a hit on him because his head is hugging the top wall.
Yeah, but he gets a pretty good first phase there, not taking any damage. While Zertinol has fallen into the Mothula fight, so 2 really tense boss fights going on here.
Especially this early on, Green Mail and Fighter Sword.
Alright, Walter gets Blind down, so now we can turn our attention down to the bottom to see how Zertinol takes care of Mothula.
A moth that shoots out lasers.
Yep, he chugs the blue potion and then immediately kills Mothula with the next hit without taking damage.
That's like always the worst feeling there, is that, like, did I even need to use that potion?
But of course, you know, if you skip the potion, you take a hit and you die. It's always how it works. The game will punish you.
And he will save a little time, because usually after the boss fights, they refill your magic and health. Doesn't have to this time, as he's already there with that blue potion.
Taking care of Moth with just a fighter sword is quite an achievement. He gets to use that fire rod quite a bit, though. That Moth takes 16 fighter sword hits or 8 fire rod shots.
Or 8 fighter sword spins. And Mothula is a very difficult boss, because it may seem like it could be more than the numbers that we've provided for you here, because he does not take any damage when he's over the spikes. All right, looks like we're just seeing a swap of our runners here. Zertinol is heading in the desert, while meanwhile Walter is heading in and doing his moth fight.
You know, once our runners have finished up this sequence, Mothula and Blind and Landmo, we have to ask ourselves, what are they going to do next? We don't have flippers, we don't have bow, so logically there's not really much pointing us to dungeons. We don't have Titan's Mitt.
I suppose they can do I don't think we got a Sahasrara check, so maybe the Pod Eastern area may give us something.
Yep, Sahasrara has 3 items in his closet. There's 5 items in a green pendant in Pod, 3 items in Eastern. Some of these may be locked by the bow, sure, but there is a lot of items in that part of the world.
It's especially efficient to route them together and take advantage of the fact that there could be a high density of items there. All right, let's see if Shady Force gets the script here. And so far, so good.
Absolutely.
Phase 2, absolutely perfect. And going into his phase 3, and almost gets Blind done on that left side. That's always a good sign of a scripted fight, is when Blind is killed on that left side.
Yep, so falls off script a little bit there on the 3rd phase, but indeed gets it done. 3rd crystal for... Second crystal for Shady Force. Everybody's at 2 now. We're all even.
Ooh, Walter using hammer strats. And he makes that look really easy, because the hammer does do tempered sword damage, and should you get hits on him, that fight can be super quick and Moth was very friendly to him, staying away from the spikes and allowing him to get those hits in.
Yep, and Walter switched to the mirror, and so I imagine Walter's going to learn the news about the pedestal right here, which is that it is only Couch Cash today.
Which is so unfortunate. Yep, Shady Force heading over to his graveyard check, and we'll be getting that Bombos. Here, just kind of all of our runners are kind of just meeting up at some point. Only a matter of time before they all meet at the Pod Eastern area.
So Zertnal's doing what we discussed and is going to be heading indeed to the Pod Eastern area. Has not done Desert yet. Might be thinking, if I get the Titans mitts, I can do Desert and Mire together. That's a useful combo.
Interesting. I actually thought he was just at Desert, but I could be mistaken. I'm not really sure. I may be thinking of Zets.
Yeah, I could have sworn somebody was in the Desert area. I will reiterate, quads are hard.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Ooh, I think we just saw silver arrows there in Sahash Rala's hut. So,
yeah, nice find. Can't use them yet, but certainly something you want to have.
Well, maybe you can intimidate your opponents by showing them the silver arrows. I could use these.
Look at my skewers!
All right, Zernal picking up Kiki the monkey. Paying him to open the Dark Palace for us. 110 rupees. So, an expensive ask.
Yeah, we're pretty wealthy today. All of our runners actually over 1,000 rupees.
All right, Zet's now in his fight against Mothula and having a little trouble here. Has to use a potion, so yeah, these hammer strats are very, very tough.
Yeah, as you mentioned earlier when we got it in Escape, the hitbox on that hammer is just a real pain.
All right, looks like on Zertnal's and Pod is not Bowlock, so he can go to the back and potentially go all the way to the back for some items here. So high density check.
Well, there is the third of our medallions, so in all likelihood, we're not going to be seeing medallion troubles today, unless one of our runners decides to leave Pendant Pod and that ether from Pendant Pod turns out to be required.
All right, Zet's braving through that fight and getting that moth kill.
Yeah, incredible persistence there. Great stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did a great job of dodging the lasers, the spikes, the treadmill. It's not an easy fight. All right, and Zertnal getting a couple keys from the front here, so going to make his way towards the back. Could full clear the entire back here, so we'll see. I'm not sure if he didn't get the big key yet, so it still could be back here.
Zet joins the crew of enlightened people who know the truth about the pedestal. And we just got the cape from Pod. One of our runners made a check on the bumper ledge earlier, and that was just a green rupee. So if cape points toward anything, it might be the Spike Cave.
So I'm trying to think now at this point, what item are we going to get that progresses this seed? I guess it's just mitts now. That really opens up everything.
Yeah,
else.
we haven't seen anything flipper locked, so none of our runners have done a fake flipper. So that gives us 2 items in the Waterfall Cave. It gives us Hobo, and it gives us a Zora Ledge. Additionally, the Zora item itself is not flipper locked, but we haven't seen that on any screen as well.
Mm-hmm. I think the last item they would want to find is flippers that would open up Swamp Palace, Pendant Swamp Palace, for progression. So I'm sure that's the last thing they would want to do. Looks like where was Ether found? I guess they found Ether in the front
Ether,
of pod.
Ether was in the front of pod. Yep.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about any medallions trolling us for entry into Misery Mire or Turtle Rock in this seed. Alright, Shady Force in his Mothula fight. Still persisting with that fighter sword. Can't use any more fire rod shots, doesn't have enough magic anymore.
Pops a blue potion for a little bit more safety.
Ah, okay, so he does have a potion there to finish out the Mothula with the fire rod, so good fight on his end as well.
Yep. So now all 4 of our restreamed runners have Mothula down with only fighter swords. So I just want to point out that that's an impressive feat. To see it done so well 4 times is a real treat when you're watching a race.
Alright, it looks like we got a Master Sword in Eastern Palace somewhere.
Certainly nice, certainly required. Doesn't really point to anything progression.
Alright, just bombs here. So interesting. There's really not that many locations left. Zora?
Yeah,
For
something
now.
like that.
Catfish Zora? I think that's where I think he's heading right now.
Yeah, you could do weird things like finish Tower of Hera, that sort of stuff.
Ah, yes. Okay, so Tower of Hera is still on the table, and there's also, I think the Ether tablet is up there. Now that he has.
I think we've seen both tablets. I don't think either tablet was important.
Ah, okay.
We're gonna see the pyramid and the catfish. That's things we haven't seen yet.
All right, a little bit of dungeon sync with Shady Force and Zets now making their way in the pod Eastern play, and gonna be picking up their Ether and Master Sword.
Yep. Meanwhile, Zertinal showed us that there was just a little piece of love on the pyramid, so that's not the answer. We can see Catfish now, and then probably a mirror over to check Zora.
I wonder what we're gonna see as our progression item here, if they do get it. Could be a vanilla flippers situation, and that was open to them the whole time. But gonna check his mushroom smart routing here, and well, picking up the potion, maybe he already turned in his mushroom.
Yeah, might be thinking have to go into Ice Palace later. Might be thinking even going back to pod. I wouldn't consider that to be a particularly high importance play using the potion glitch in pod.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, no mitts.
Yep, no mitts means you can't pick up the darker skulls or the 8 blocks just yet.
Catfish is not the answer.
Yeah, and remembering that he's in the area and can check Zora, so mirroring to the location here.
Yep, we'll put our eyeballs on the ledge item as well. Can't get it from right here. Don't really need it though. It's only $300. All right, Zora. Oh boy! You
Wow.
called it. You absolutely called it.
Would you call that a commentator's curse, or would you call that a commentator's blessing?
Oh, that's with Swamp Palace pendant now available to them. That's absolutely a curse. But we have a whole bunch, as I mentioned, we have a whole bunch of Flipper Lock locations available to check. We're going to see the Hobo right away. We're going to see the Waterfall Cave after that.
Thinking now, does Walter go back at this point? And yep, Walter's going to go back and check that waterfall. Smart decision here. He's already here in the area.
Yeah, I wonder if Zertinol just muscle memoried that and just, I got the Zora item, I'm going to save and quit.
Absolutely. I got this. I saw the Zora item. I'm going to hard reset even.
Yep. The Hobo had the blue cane for us.
So both invincibility items here. That does open up Spike Cave. And I thought maybe he was going there, but it looks like he's gonna check that Waterfall of Wishing. All right, Walter and Zertinol just switching positions here, and probably across the little wormhole that got him to both places. High-fiving each other. Well, these Flipper locations certainly didn't give us any of the goods, but we do have a Swamp Palace that is wide open to us. 6 items there, so high value play. We could be seeing our bow, our mitts, anything we need for go mode.
With 6 items, we could see everything we need for go mode.
Mm-hmm.
You could hide some of those goodies on the left side of Swamp. We might have to see runners making that decision. Do I go left? Do I not go left?
Yeah, it looks like Zertinol is making a check on the Bombos tablet, which we know is just a bottle. And I guess he is going to get his bottle because he does have the Master Sword and can grab this item.
Yep, and that means that Walter is going to be the first of our runners into Swamp Palace. And I can't imagine what else this seat is doing other than funneling our runners to Swamp Palace. Unless it's upstairs in Tower of Hera, which would be a great thing. not for the runners, but for us who are sitting comfortably in the commentary booth in the chat.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Shady's checking the Bombos tablet and gonna be getting his bottle now. I bet he's thinking, where is my next item of progression? And he does know in the back of his mind that there is a Catfish and that Zora available to him. So looks like we'll be seeing that very soon from him, as that's on his way there. And Walter hookshotting over to get his key, and the interesting about this dungeon is that there are no keys in chests here, just the big key. So there's the possibility that you can flood some of these keys with the water, and may potentially have to leave and come back and to reset the rooms. Ooh, and the Cane of Samaria, right there in the south portion of Swamp Palace.
Yep, that one is absolutely required. So Swamp Palace, Pendant Swamp Palace, definitely required. There still may be more treasures for us hidden in this dungeon.
But without those myths, can't really do much with that red cane just yet. Walter is going to the back here, checking those 2 left side chests, and it's usually a play I like to make whenever I get 2 items in the first 2 chests as well. There's the potential there to get what I call the God Swamp, and all the items skipping left side are just in the first 6 chests, going straight to the boss. Getting the big key and looking to go straight to the boss here. Ooh, I think we're getting a left side check from the Zertinal, so we'll see if this play pays off for him.
Yep, I do believe it's just a little bit faster to do the left side check before heading in. If you're going to do it at all. Obviously, it's faster to skip it completely.
From what I hear, it's something like 35 seconds you're losing, having to go back into the dungeon and do the left side. All right, Walther into his Argus fight. Those puffs take 2 sword slashes or 1 sword spin.
Yep. Meanwhile, Zertinal has found that the left side does not pay out. The left side was just a map and a bundle of 10 arrows.
There you go, Walter with his low percent strat on picking up the mitts here in Swamp Palace. So 2 for 2 here.
Yep, absolutely. Swamp Palace, definitely the way to go.
All right, so right now he does have access to both Mire and Turtle Rock. Thinking he would decide to do those first before Ice Palace. Try to find that bow, and I know those dungeons aren't that much different in Go mode for sure. Yeah, Walter smartly picking up some health here, knowing that he does have to go to Mire or Rock with the Master Sword and no bow to potentially beat Viddy with.
Bad Dead Rock.
Oh, can he get in? He can't even get into the old man cave, so it looks like he might. He's just gonna choose to wait it out here, and I know I see a couple runners. They will at least go into the cave up north there, or just flute back to 1 again. Yeah, but Walter here looking to make the Turtle Rock play. It's a smart play. There's a ton of items over here. The Hookshot Cave is open. Super Bunny. All that together, 6 items, plus the 5 in the Turtle Rock. That's 11 items that he could potentially get the bow at. So it's a smart play.
Absolutely.
And Mimic Cave as well, so 12 even. All right, Super Bunny Cave, not giving us anything here. Piece and 10 arrows. All right, we will see. Does the hookshot cave have our bow?
Starts off with 50 bucks. 10 bombs. Blue mail. That's our first mail upgrade that we've seen.
Blue mail is
Nope.
definitely, I guess it's not in here. Yeah, well, just blue mail is nice to get, especially when you're trying to fight anything in Turtle Rock. All the items do 4 hearts, a lot like 4 hearts of damage with green mail. So it's especially scary dungeon when you have just green mail and just a master sword to kill the enemies with. Ooh, so we're getting a little bit of divergence with these Titans bits. So we got Walther going into Turtle Rock, and we got Zertnal heading over to the Mire area, probably looking to do the Mire Desert combination, which is smart. Get kill 2 birds with 1 stone there.
Absolutely. Plus, if the bow ends up being here, it will save Zertnal another Death Mountain climb. The only thing is, there are much fewer items to check in this part of the world.
Absolutely. Yeah, really only opening up the 5 areas, the 5 locations here. 2 being in Misery Mire, and then the Mire Shed and Checkerboard Cave. All right, just a hard piece at Checkerboard Cave, so not really paying off so far. Just
Well,
two more chances here to.
Well, it's not going to be in Mire because Walther just found it in the right side of Turtle Rock, and that is go mode.
Yeah, officially at 1 hour and 2 minutes, he's at go mode, and he's got just 4 more crystals to go. These, especially Ice Palace here in go mode, is gonna be especially quick, and could get the God Mire as well.
Yep. Still only a Master Sword go mode, but at least we have the silver arrows.
Mm-hmm. We'll make that Ganon fight a lot easier, but probably banking and hoping that that Ganon's Tower or any chest along the way has a sword upgrade.
Yep. So Zetz, meanwhile, is going to show us what's upstairs in Tower of Terror. We know this isn't going to pay off in terms of progression items, but there still could be some nice things up here. Maybe a sword upgrade.
Yeah, maybe sword upgrade, half magic, powder, anything that helps him in this seed, especially with that Master Sword.
Well, unfortunately not, because we just saw the 2 items back to back, and they were both kind of useless.
It looks like he's opting. Does he? He's thinking a little bit. I think he's remembering that that the pedestal is dead, and gonna flute out of here. And I think he's thinking, what do I have left? And he's gonna remember that I guess he hasn't checked Zora yet. For those vanilla flippers.
Yep, those flippers are the ticket, as Shady Force just learned picking up the mitts on Pendant Argus.
Alright, Walt, checking the big chest here. He did have the option to skip that, because I think he stole the key from the Pokies, so when you steal the key from the Pokey and skip the big chest, there is a 5 out of 6 chance that you do get the small key to finish the dungeon down there. And Zernal just getting a piece of heart in the Vanilla Big Key location in Meyer. It's got to feel bad, especially after waiting that long cutscene of just the room shaking, when really it's just the room next to it opening up.
So Walter's going to be making 4 checks on Laser Bridge. Definitely needs a key from here, but would probably like to see a sword too. Or that's not gonna be unwelcome. Red mail. All right, so this is gonna be the key. So no sword here on Laser Bridge.
All right, in the Vanilla Key location. Oh, I thought maybe he was gonna open the safety door there, but opting not to do that.
Yep, has red mail, has a couple of blue potions. Probably isn't too worried.
We'll get the full magic refill over here in the last couple pots upstairs, and yeah, should be good to go. He's feeling nice and safe, especially with that red mail requirement. Walter using hammer strats here, and I like the strat here, getting the 3 hits on the left neck and then moving over to the right neck, because that right neck likes to spit ice all over the floor and make the boss fight from that point on a lot harder.
Yep. Meanwhile, Zertinal's going to be going into a low percent boss fight of his own, trying to fight Vitreous with just the Master Sword. No bow.
All right. Fortunately, getting that last hit on the left neck, he was running low on magic there. That could be a scary fight to have to lose because you've lost magic.
Yep, but Walter gets the final phase of Trinex down and will complete the dungeon for their next crystal.
For his 4th crystal, and he's still got 3 more to go here, but those dungeons will be extremely quick. So we'll be seeing him again in Tower very shortly here. Zertinal getting through the first couple of the first phase of Vidi pretty easily here, and is in the second phase. With that Master Sword, it is a lot of sword slashes, especially with the Master Sword. I think it's something like 32, or it's a lot.
Yeah, and Zertinal's still on green mail, so getting bodied by that eyeball hurts. Gets the fight done, though. And I'm thinking we're going to see Zertinal mirror right over and finish Desert now.
It's a smart routing decision here to get those 2 done and out of the way, right back to back. Ooh, on Walter's then we did get a bird toss, so extra swag points for him for recognizing that the pendant for or the medallion for Meyer is in fact Peter. So he was, looking to take advantage of the fact that he could do the bird toss. Yeah, nice beamless strats from Walter here in that first room of Misery Mire. Now, I forgot where the big key was here in Meyer, but he could potentially get this. Okay, he gets a fairy in a bottle, but I thought it was early on, and then Zertnal made other checks, obviously, because he's not in go mode yet. So we'll see if it's in the next room here. Fortunately, Shady taking a death here, but has the fairy to give him one more shot at these eyeballs. Yeah, with green mail, these eyeballs do a lot of damage. 3 hearts, I think.
Yep, we're seeing the usual NMG strat of taking a hit from the goop so that you have iframes to fight the eyeballs.
All right, Shady now on to his the incredibly long and arduous second phase of Vitreous without the bow and just Master Sword. But using a safer strat here, just letting Vitreous come down to him, and with patience comes out a big reward here, and he now gets his 4th crystal here in Misery Mire.
So Zertnal is going to be the first of our featured runners into Ice Palace. We're going to see a real quick... Oh, no, we're not! Zertnal doesn't have the bow yet. I take it back.
He's not in go mode, so he's going to look for a chest here. Hey, but he could get a sword, so could make up some difference here if Walt doesn't decide to check everything.
Zertnal uses the hook shot to one-shot those ping gators.
With just Master Sword, it does, I think it's, Sword Spin doesn't kill them automatically. I think it's 2 sword spins or a sword spin and a slash. So, it definitely takes a little bit more time.
Shady Force is also in Ice Palace, just a little bit behind Zertnal. Also, without the bow, will not be go-moding this dungeon. So of our restreamed runners, it certainly seems like Walter's in the most comfortable position.
It's definitely his race to lose here. Now on Zertnal's side, we'll see him setting up the bomb jump here in Ice Palace. They use the bomb jump to get past those little pegs. It definitely makes the dungeon a lot faster, especially in go mode. You don't have to fall all the way down and come all the way back up to check the items.
Yep, if you're learning Randomizer or you're learning the speedrun and you want your biggest piece of time-saving tech, that's it right there, the Ice Palace bomb jump.
Walter making that Vidi fight look really easy with that bow and silver arrows. And picking up his 5th crystal.
Oh! Zertnal gets the Tempered Sword there in the Freeze Orb.
So the question...
Yeah.
Yeah, question is now, does Walter check that?
Yeah, if you're in Go Mode Ice Palace, that's one of the chests you might check since you have to walk past it anyway, so there's a substantial chance that Walter actually does get that one on his Go Mode trip through Ice Palace.
And the difference between Master Sword and Tempered Sword, especially on Ganon, is very, very it's very big.
Absolutely.
All right, Zet's now completing his Argus fight, and we'll pick up those mitts now. That opens up the rest of the world to him at this point. We'll see what he decides to do now. Yep, looks like Walter gets the alignment there. I like to do my Ice Palace Bomb jumps. I like to align that with the pixel between the sword and the bomb. It usually does it for me because sprites can change, so I like to use the sword as the alignment.
So, moment of truth for Walter. Ooh, no tempered sword for Walter here from Ice Palace.
Thinking to maybe conserve his magic a little bit. Trying to maybe save those fire rod shots for Cold Stare. But it does make that Ganon fight a little bit longer, that much longer for him. So we'll see if that amount of difference will get a Zertno back up to par here. All right, Walter breaking the ice here with the Bombos medallion. Definitely uses a lot less magic than 8 fire rod shots. He gets to use the rest of his magic to kill Cold Stare with that fire rod.
Having a bit of bad luck missing his fire rod shots there.
I'm
gonna go with hammer strats. Uh-oh, 2 hearts.
Uh-oh. Just one more hit here. He's gotta be careful.
And there it is.
Oh, wow. Narrowly getting that Cold Stare kill with that small hitbacks on the hammer. And Walter getting his 6 crystal, and all he has to do is run through Eastern Palace at this point, because he did check it earlier, so just go straight to the boss, kill him, and head on to Ganon's Tower. Zerno with a much faster fight, spawning all those Cold Stares into the corner, using the Tempered Sword and getting him in there. Nice fight by him. Alright, Shady Force heading to Turtle Rock, actually, and we'll be getting his bow, and he will be in go mode upon Turtle Rock, but has to go back down and finish Eastern Palace at that point, which is kind of annoying, but at least he does have the Tempered Sword. It's going to make that dungeon and boss Trinex much easier. Looks like Zertnal making a ether check, just getting the heart here, seeing whether or not he decides to go into hair at this point, trying to look for that bow. Oh, going right past it and going straight to Turtle Rock. Smart decision, because we know it's the right decision. And we're getting a little bit of sync here from Shady Force and Zertnal, both heading into Turtle Rock at the same time. Getting that early knowledge. We'll both probably hit go mode within a minute of each other, so could be an interesting race between the two.
Walter having a little more trouble with aiming. We saw a little bit of trouble with aiming in the cold stare fight with those fire rod shots. A couple more silver arrows than perhaps he would have preferred to shoot there. He gets it done and gets his 7th crystal.
All right, and you know what that means. Now that we have 7 crystals, he's going to make his way up to Ganon's Tower. And I don't think we have an official game here, but there are 22 locations for the big key in the basement of Ganon's Tower. And if you'd like to get your guesses in chat, please get them in there. And if you win, you get bragging rights.
Absolutely. Marknificent, do you have a preferred number today?
I'm gonna go with 13 this time, right in the middle in the rando room, last chest.
I feel like 7 today.
Lucky number 7. Interesting. So we're going for, I guess if you do a normal route, the Stalfos room.
Yep. Walter continuing to have bad luck with Dead Rocks this seed.
Oh no. Opting to wait for it instead of maybe going off screen here and despawning it, so getting a little worked up here. Yeah, those Dead Rocks can be a real troll, especially when you're in a race. You don't want to have your race decided by a Dead Rock. Let's just say that. All right, Shady Force getting his bow, and he's officially in go mode. Hour 23 minutes. Zertnal on his way there. All right, Zertnal with the rage slashes on there, looking opting to save and quit. I think he's gonna do Eastern Palace first, and then come back up here and finish Turtle Rock.
Yep, totally legitimate way to play this. Meanwhile, Walter's going to be heading into Ganon's Tower under 125.
Yeah, all things considered, this seed had them running around, getting the mitts on Argus, which, you know, was really the only place open, really. But yeah, this is a really good time for him to be getting into Ganon's Tower. So from this point on, it's right around 10 minutes at the worst case for him to full clear the basement and then go upstairs and finish Ganon. But probably maybe even a little longer with that, should he not find any sword upgrades in here. All right, the first two don't yield us anything, yield us any keys, so he is going to be going left side now at this point.
We get a key on the torch, so say farewell to our buddy Bob.
Mm-hmm. Now you're going to get it, Bobby.
Ooh, Zetz just took a death on Vitreous, but has a fairy, fortunately.
Mm-hmm. Should have the fairy that they, the fairy in a bottle that they got from the first chest of Mire. What is it? That's 4.
So my 7 is out.
Yep, that's 7 chests we've gone through, and we've gotten 3 small keys so far, and opts to keep going left instead of mirroring out and doing those Dark Magician strats.
So Zets finishes up Vitreous. I have to imagine Dark Death Mountain is next on our playlist.
Yeah. I think that's all he can do at this point, unless he is so compelled and wants to do the Smith sequence.
Zertinal puts Armos to bed. Slightly cleaner fight hits all 6 of those arrows. But it's not going to make him nearly enough time on Walther.
Alright, Walther, descending upon the rando room. We'll see if my guess of 13 still holds true.
Not today, unfortunately.
Ah.
So we are on our way to Bob's chest. That will be number 14. And the 3 chests behind Ice Armos will be 15, 16, and 17.
Are we looking at a tower room?
It's a possibility.
It's still very much open. Yeah. Yeah, Walter getting the alignment bonk there to skip that warp. Saves a lot of time there.
Shady Force is going to have a much nicer time with Trinex with the Tempered Sword there, using the NMG backdoor strats.
It is much faster because whenever you hit him with the sword, it just knocks you back to the wall instead of just back in an open space.
All right, here we have 15, 16, 17. Nope, nope, and nope.
Tile room.
Yeah, we've reached the 20% chance of tile room. So Shady Force is done with Turtle Rock, has to head back down the mountain to get to Eastern, finish that up, and then climb right on up. Zertinal, once they finish Turtle Rock, will be able to head straight to Ganon's Tower, having completed Eastern already.
Yeah, so it is gonna be it's gonna be an interesting race here between Zertinal and Shady Force.
Agreed.
They're kind of just swapping locations right now, and again, its tower play could decide it. Yeah, nice some Mario kick strats there to get that block over. And okay, so big key is in 18, I think.
Yeah, that'll be 18.
Fortunately, not opting to check those other two chests.
Yeah, he checked one of them and then just, nope. So,
Yeah.
Walter, being very aggressive with the chests he's choosing to check, must feel pretty confident in his Master Sword Ganon with the silver arrows. Still a few more chests that Walter can opt to check on the way up.
Absolutely. Alright, nice Mimics 1, using the statue to move those Mimics around. Nice. And nice Mimics 2.
So here's the bow for Zets.
Yeah, Zet's reaching his go mode right now. And choosing to go through Turtle Rock right now. And then going back down and doing Easter Palace a little bit later.
Zets remembers there's a full magic there in that pot. That's those are some useful things to commit to memory, where you can find full magics and things like that. you don't really think about them until you're in a seed and it costs you like 2 minutes trying to hunt out magic.
Absolutely, especially in Turtle Rock, where it is so magic heavy. So it is smart to be wary of your magic scale.
It does seem like we have some big magic decanters in the drop pools today, so that's nice to know.
Yeah, prize packs are being very kind to these runners today. With that regard, not having half magic, it's especially tough now going through Ganon's Tower here, and where magic is so important to a couple of these rooms.
So we're going to see Walter try to stick Landmo 2 with 3 silvers. Oh, beautiful fight.
Beautiful one cycle there. If you do go across the room beforehand without taking that much time or trying to powder the anti-fairy, you can spawn those Lambos left, right, and front. It's the same every single time. Nice Wizburbs 2 room for Walter. It's as if they made that room designed specifically for the red cane to be used.
Yep, there are many people who will stick to the opinion that the red cane is the best item in the game.
I see. For me, it's the hook shot, but to each their own for sure. All right, Zertnal now finishing up his Trinex fight and is just will be a little bit behind Shady Force entering Ganon's Tower, so we'll see what interesting decisions he's going to make as far as Ganon's Tower. He's definitely, of the 4 runners here, he's definitely the runner that made the most interesting choices. So
yeah.
We may see him go right and do Dark Magician strats.
That's true. Walther opts to check 2 chests up here in Ganon's Tower and gets the Mirror Shield and the Powder, and we're probably going to see the Powder get some use. Once Walter grabs some magic over here. Oh no, he has enough. There we go.
Yeah, Walter's still looking for that sword, but that Powder is definitely going to help him out. Otherwise, he probably would have went into Ganon with just 3 hearts. I'm thinking he has a potion, so he might be in good shape.
So Walther put 1 slash into Moldorm, and Moldorm takes 3 Master Sword spins. So if he didn't put another slash in, he could have gotten Moldorm into the fast state. So that's why he did another slash before he did 2 spins.
And Moldorm's rewarded us with 3 bombs, so fortunately for Walter, is going to have to do Master Sword Cannon. It looks like we're getting a Dark Magician strat from a... Oh, okay, no. Actually, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Alright, but Shady Force opting to go full left here.
Walther gets a double in that cycle there. These are not great patterns.
Yeah, especially... Definitely the worst pattern is when there's a huge triangle and you're in the middle of it. But making it look nice there in that last phase, getting all 3 to hit him, which was probably only a 2, but...
Yeah, absolutely. And now it is time for Ganon. Ganon does not take damage from Master Sword slashes, so you're going to see Walther have to put 12 spins into Ganon in the first phase, 12 spins in the second phase, and we'll have the silver hours to make that final phase easier.
And 24... Oh, yeah, that's right. I was thinking 24 sword spins on the 4th phase, but he does have that those silver arrows, so it'll just be a normal fight from that point on, but has to do it with sword spins. As you saw in that very first hit, he did get a poke on there, which did nothing to him. Not getting very favorable placement from Ganon here. can't take advantage of any double spins.
Yeah, and Walther doesn't even have the cape. That's a great thing to have if you need to be putting spins into Ganon.
Getting a nice alignment here on Ganon. Can get a couple double spins, but it is bleeding hearts here.
Yeah, keeps getting whacked in the face by that trident.
I know he does have several potions, so opting to use one now, and Red Mail is definitely going to help him out. Alright, getting 3 there. 3 out of the 12 necessary for phase 2. Another bad pattern from Oh, this is the optimal pattern here.
Yep.
Sticking him in that corner.
Yeah, this should bring it into phase 3.
I still think he's not there yet. He's still at 9.
Oh yeah, look
10,
at that.
11.
If you can get into that
12.
corner quickly enough, yeah, now we should be good. If you can get into that corner quickly enough, you can get all the spins you need, I think, in one cycle there.
Oh, forgetting that he does need to... spawning that Ring of Fire is it's definitely scary when you're in sword charge up mode. You do move a little bit slower, so it is a little bit harder to dodge that Ring of Fire. But looks to be under control now.
Alright, Walther makes it through to the 4th phase of the Ganon fight. Yeah, we did find the arrows.
Alright, Walther getting the torch glitch.
Should get a double here.
Okay, getting him there. See if he gets that 4th hit in. Yeah.
Ooh, just missed.
Okay, and I think this should be his 4th one. Alright, and GG to Walther. Making that Master Sword Ganon look pretty easy. It's not an easy thing to do. Just patience. Persistence.
Yep. So Walther's going to cross over that bridge, and we will get you his official time. Walther has finished first among our restreamed runners and 3rd place overall for this race, with an official speed runs live time of 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 40 seconds. For reference, our 1st place finisher was Data World with a time of 1:32:38, and our 2nd place finisher was Pink Kitty Rose with a time of 1:35:27.
So yeah, GG to those runners. Yeah, they must have made the play really early and gotten those flippers and went into Swamp House right away. And
yep, and the victor on our restream, Walther, is in our waiting room, so we will pull him in for an interview. And we are joined by the victor among our restreamed runners, Walther. Congratulations, GG.
Yeah, thank you. GG. So I think my play was pretty shaky today. It's been that for like the last couple of races I've done. But I had a pretty good route at least.
Yeah, I noted that a little time. You missed a couple of fire rod shots, some silver arrows. You took a couple of tridents to the face, but it was really your routing that made you the victor among our restreamed runners. It was the Turtle Rock play, the grabbing the bow at a Turtle Rock. You were the only one of our 4 who did that first.
Yeah.
or did that first after definitely after Spawn Palace.
Yeah, I get both so often in Turtle Rock. So when I had the choice between Turtle Rock, Ice Palace, and Mire, it was just Turtle Rock straight away. And there's so many items on Death Mountain overall as well. So.
Yeah, we were saying that. Right after Swamp, definitely opened up all the items there, even Turtle Rock. So it was definitely a smart play for you to go up there, and it definitely paid off for you.
Yeah, it's interesting because like we got both cane and mitts in swamp, right? And those 2 items open up all of the last dungeons. So it's like it's hard to tell where to go.
For sure. I think our runners here did opted to do the mire and desert play, but actually it also led them to full clear Ice Palace, which did give them the tempered sword, thereby making their Ganon fights a little bit easier. But
yeah, I was thinking about maybe checking some chest in ice for a sword, but
Yeah,
I was just
you.
hoping to find one in Ganon's Tower instead.
Yeah, it was the Freezor chest in ice that had the sword.
Oh, was it?
Was indeed.
That would have been fast to get.
And it actually looks like a couple of our runners picked up half magic, and I assume that was on right side Ganon's Tower, in the basement. Yeah, Walter, we saw you mirror out after checking the right, just the second chest on the right. It must have been there.
Yeah, I guess. I thought I was like at least gonna check the 4 on the way up, so I was like, well, I can skip these.
Yeah, well, you didn't need it anyway. You did make that Master Sword Ganon look pretty good.
Yeah, I made sure to pick up some potions before, just in case, and I think that was a good idea.
Absolutely.
So, of the 3 runners on our stream who are still running, Shady Force has made it to Aghanim 2, and Zertnal's skipping out on the powder and the mirror shield. I don't think that's gonna hurt Zertnal too much.
Yeah, it looks like he's got his health back up. He's got half magic. He's got tempered sword. He's got silvers. Looks like a pretty standard setup for Ganon here.
And just before Shady Force heads into the Ganon fight, I want to point out we have a 4th placed finisher off stream. That's Sinhei with a time of 1:42:07.
Looks like Zetz is back in Ice Palace. I think maybe Zetz died at I think he died at a Cold Stare, if I'm not mistaken, and decided to leave, come back here.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, I have to imagine that's the case.
It has a track, so I thought maybe he had done it, but
yeah, and we're gonna see how the tempered sword helps out on Ganon if you take a look at Shady Force's screen. Manages to get through the first phase in 1 cycle.
And looking like he's gonna get that one cycle second phase as well. So into the 3rd phase here. Sure he doesn't get hit by the fire bats, and yeah, it looks like he should be an easy fight from this point on.
Yep.
Insert.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, well, Zertnal taking care of Aghanim 2 here, now heading down into his Ganon fight. Just shortly behind Shady Force.
So Zet's persistent and successfully manages to pull off that Ice Palace bomb jump after a couple of tries. On the way down to Cold Stare.
Just gotta keep trying, and eventually you'll get it, and it definitely pays off.
So Shady Force has made quick work of Ganon with those silver arrows, and we'll be heading across that bridge. So Shady Force has finished 2nd on our restream and 6th place overall with a time of 1 hour, 44 minutes, and 59 seconds. Our 5th place finisher was GamerCal with a time of 1:44:16.
GG. All right, Zertnal now in phase 4 of Ganon. Getting the quick torch glitch there and spawning him there, and should be getting a double here. So really nice kill from Zertnal. Really quick phase 4 for him.
Absolutely. And we have Zertinal crossing the bridge and finishing with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 3 seconds. And Zertinal immediately leaving a comment in the race room, somewhere something went wrong. We'll see if we can't get both Shady Force and Zertinal in for interviews. Zertinal says BRB, so maybe in a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump out in the meanwhile, but GG's to the other runners, and thanks for commentating and tracking.
All right, well,
no
thank you.
problem. Yeah, GG. Have a good one. All right. Meanwhile, Zet's in the Cold Stare fight, and getting it finally with his fire rod shots, and using a little bit more of those fire rod shots as just rage fire rods and sword slashes as well. But Zet's finally getting his 7th crystal, and is going to be on his way up to Ganon's tower at this point. And we'll see if he decides to do the Dark Magician strat here and skip the entire lower portion of the basement where the ice armors are. So that would definitely help him pick up some time here. But it looks like we're only seeing a Master Sword. That's interesting. He must have died earlier in the dungeon of Ice Palace, because he did not pick up that Master Sword. Or he didn't pick up that Tempered Sword, rather.
And we are joined here in the commentary booth by Shady Force, who finished 2nd among our restreamed runners. GG.
GG, Shady Force.
Thanks very much, guys.
No problem. Your thoughts on the seed? Go ahead.
Yeah, the seed was a little bit tricky. I mean, I guess anyone who fake flippered early and went to Zora would have been paid off. But I haven't been fake flippering much lately, so the flippers being vanilla would quite caught me out a little bit, I think.
I think in general, everyone, especially on the restream, you guys were at the flipper location right about the same time.
Yeah, none of our restreamed runners actually did any fake flipper play at all.
I mean, it made sense. I mean, the entire Dark World was open, so it just made sense to kind of like do that. It was really all about after the swamp play, Walter opting to go to Turtle Rock, and you deciding to go to the Mire and the Desert play, which is they're two very legitimate decisions.
Oh yeah, well, Mire, I always like going to Mire first because it's really quick to get there and it's quick to check, and even the items in Mire can be quick to get to as long as they're not in the cutscene room, which I think I skipped an item there actually. I was going to have to go back there later if something was there, but I like going Mire first. Turtle Rock it takes time to climb the mountain, so I'd rather leave that for later.
Absolutely.
But I think I was kind of winging it a little bit with my routing. I was in Village of Outcasts, and then I thought, well, maybe I can go and do this north stuff while I have it, because I have the mirror, and I have the boots. And yeah, then I thought, well, we could do Catfish, and I was deciding between fake flippering and going to Zora, or going to Catfish and mirroring to Zora, and I guess I decided on the latter because they're both in logic. And it kind of worked out okay for me.
Yeah, no bad decisions there. It was definitely a solid running from you for sure.
Well, you say that, but I had a lot of very careless overworld deaths in this. It was pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the seed wasn't very kind to you guys, or having a low hard count and just a green mail and a fighter sword for a while.
I can't remember the last time I died in Kakariko Village. I don't think I've ever died in the well from my own bomb. That was hilarious.
Yeah, we did make note of that, but yeah, you did recover and then opt to do the I think the back of escape,
Yeah,
that
as
point.
soon as I found the gloves and escape, it's a bit easier because I don't have to worry about farming for bombs because I know I can get back there very quickly. So then I can just kind of rush through escape.
Mm-hmm.
Plus everyone.
Yeah, that early mirror definitely cut down the escape time for all of you guys. So not really that much time lost there.
But yeah, I think overall my execution could have been better, and I was a bit unlucky with maybe my routing decisions, but I don't think I did anything really badly in terms of routing. So it's just the way it goes.
Mm-hmm. That's just the way of rando, and eventually you do get the seeds done, and I guess that's probably really the most important thing, and you take those and learn from them for sure.
Absolutely. Zetz has acquired, not yet acquired the big key, is making their way through the basement of Ganon's tower. We'll be finishing up soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, so Zetz did not pick up his tempered sword from Ice Palace. I'm assuming that he went into Ice Palace and maybe died a little bit earlier. Maybe didn't go there at all and just go mode at Ice Palace.
Could be. Meanwhile, we have had a few more finishes. After Zertinal in 7th place, we had Hutek in 8th place at 148.33, Haikyuu Type in 9th place with 150.18, and Willard J. Bradley in 10th place with 150.38.
Oh, really good times for sure. Optimal time for finishing a randomizer's sub 2, so GG's to the runners.
Zetz has taken care of Ice Armos. Will not be finding the big key here.
Mm-hmm, and we'll have to go left side and or right side, and we'll see if he decides to maybe go towards and do the tower room first.
And we have Zertinal in our ready room, so I will go grab Zertinal.
All right, skipping the tower room of dreams. We don't know what could be there. Could have been a sword for all we know. So tower room dead right now. Unfortunately, kind of messing up this first cycle, and it has to wait till the torch goes out. All right, is he gonna make it? He should be good. Okay, get there. Okay. All right, so picking up the half magic. So it wasn't in that combat room. So definitely gonna help him out on the Ganon fight here with just Master Sword. And we'll pick up all 4 chests in the room and then head up to Ganon's tower. Head up to Aghanim 2.
We're working on some technical issues with Zertinal. You know, Discord, it does that.
Mm-hmm, for sure. So stay tuned, everybody. Meanwhile, Zet's getting through his Mimic's 1 room using the hold strats. Very, very nice strat there. Oh, having a little bit of trouble with that second Mimic, but gets him from afar. All right, Zet's heading into the Ganon Ball Z room, or I think we have another name for this. It's Ganon Ball GT, which makes a lot more sense, and we'll just save the Ganon Ball Z room for Eastern Palace. and or Desert Palace. Opting to refill his hearts and magic here in the safety room. Always a smart decision going up here, especially if you're low on potions. All right, and Zet's going through the gauntlet right now. A series of five rooms here with that make it especially difficult. Treadmills, ice, laser shooting statues, spikes, and monsters. The red guard just escaping him. Just 2 Master Sword shots, but if you do hit him into the spikes, it does do a little extra damage. All right, now into his Lambo 2 fight using the silver arrows, and let's see if we can get the 1 cycle here. Looks like he's going to get it. So very nice 1 cycle Lambo for Zets.
Great job commentating, so I'm just popping back in here.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, okay, yep. There are some invisible floor. There's an invisible floor there, so you don't exactly know when you're on an edge there. So just narrowly avoiding that fall. Just missing the Wizard's 2 room. But 2 cycles ain't bad. All right, using the lamp here. All right, waiting a little bit of time so he doesn't get the sprite despawn here. If you do go up the stairs at the same time, the torches in the previous room go out. Can spawn all the sprites in the floors above, and you do have to mirror out and do the whole tower again. Yeah, but Seth's picking up that powder, which is a good find for him, opting not to use it and going just straight for the magic. And yeah, checking that last item for... Oh, and yeah, eventually using that powder to refill his health here.
Trying to, not getting too much success there.
Having a little trouble, and then just opting not to do it, use it at all. So here he is into his Moldrum 2 fight, Master Sword. Looks like he might be getting the enraged phase unless he gets a sword spin here. And GG. Yeah, Moldrum 2 not being very trolly to our runners today. Only receiving triple bombs as a gift for that Moldrum 2 fight. So yeah, heading into Ganon with just his Master Sword. I don't think I saw... I'm not sure if he has any potions, so it's maybe a tougher fight. And I know he had to use some on Cold Stare earlier, so we will see. Getting a 1 on that first phase. It was a very tricky pattern there. Very spread out like triangle. Here we go. All right, getting a double there on phase 4. Should be getting the double here, and nice Aga 2 fight from him, finishing up. Upon the 2-hour mark, should be falling in again in here in about 13 seconds. All right, opting not to fall in right away. Probably looking to pick up that fairy or pick up a potion. He knows that this fight is going to be extremely hard. He does have just a little over half of his magic, but having half magic is really almost like having a full magic bar there. Not having half magic, so could be enough magic for him to go through this fight. We'll see what strats he opts to use here. But if we're seeing this correctly, he may only have the green mail still. He missed on getting the blue mail from Hoshai Cave and getting the red mail from the laser bridge. So this could be interesting. Because again, it does 8 hearts of damage on green mail. Getting lucky there and missing the damage taken from the trident, but not taking advantage of the fact that he was only a block away from the wall. Not able to get those double spins there. All right, so in phase 2, opting to use the cape here. 2, 3.
So, using the magic here, probably a good call.
Mm-hmm. So maybe he does have a potion. Uh-oh. Oh. So yeah, I think he actually only does have the green mail, because I think that did 4 hearts of damage.
Yeah, that's rough. Master Sword Ganon, not an easy fight.
Mm-hmm. Master Sword. Green mail. Definitely a tough fight.
I think a quick flute to the potion shop might be in order here.
Mm-hmm.
We have no net, so we can't catch fairies. It's just going to be potions for us. A bit limited on money, too.
All right, looks like he's refilling his magic and opting to get another group. So he's got one of each of the Kool-Aid colors, the Kool-Aid flavors. So hopefully that is enough for him to get through this Master Sword Ganon with just green mail. Getting caught by the tree there. A cactar in a tree. Cactar's movements are so silly. Forgetting that he can't do sword slashes on him. Could get a couple doubles here. Opting not to do it and wedge himself in between the wall and Ganon there to get that double. Ooh, 4 hearts with the trident. Getting that double in there. Looking like he's in the second phase. He could, if he just does doubles here, he could get the entire second phase done. He might need to do one more. Yep, two more shots. So he just goes up one more time and gets him that last time. Oops. Oh, don't. Oh, he was only at 11. So fortunately, He needs a couple more here. He should be good. We'll be running out of magic here, so he's got to watch out for the fire bats. Oh, okay, all right. Okay, so using the blue smartly here to refill his magic and his health. So trying to dodge those fire, the ring of fire that Ganon creates, especially Trolley, because if you do get hit by that fire bat, it moves you in the opposite direction that you were moving in. So there's more potential for you to fall into the pits there.
So Zetz gets that torch glitch. Gets a silverless hit there.
Ah, nice.
I sometimes myself have a hard time adjusting to hitting Ganon with the spin attack before rather than after, just being used to silverless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very specific sword spin because you're still used to just hitting with slashes that you have to time the sword spins a little bit sooner, and then be quick to shoot the arrow after.
Ooh, that was real close to taking a Ganon hug there.
Ooh. 8 hearts and a potential fall, but I think this is his 4th arrow, so...
Yes, indeed, Zetz has done it.
So GG's to Zetz, braving that fight with the green mail and a Master Sword.
And Zetz has finished 17th place overall with a time of 2 hours, 7 minutes, and 52 seconds.
So yeah, GG to Zetz. Incredibly brave fight, having to do Green Mail Master Sword for a lot of these bosses. Trinex, Cold Stare, Vitreous even, so GG's to him.
So we're going to try and get Zetz in for an interview. Meanwhile, we've got... Zetz is going to decline the interview. That's understandable. After you put yourself out like that for you power through a tough fight like that, makes sense you want to cool down for a little while. So no harm done declining the interview. We do, though, have managed to solve Zertinal's tech issues. We're going to get Zertinal in for a little bit. All right, we have Zertinal with us. GG.
GG, Zertinal. Maybe? Oh, it looks like we got Walter starting another seed here.
And I think... Zertinal... Okay, I think we're good. Zertinal, hi! Hello? I'm seeing you light up, but now I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah, I see it too.
So I don't know how much longer we're gonna try and keep this up. Certainly, all 4 of our runners have put forth a great effort. Interview issues notwithstanding. So we'll grab all of them. We'll get their links up in chat, and you can throw them all some follows.
Definitely follow the runners. Yeah, congrats to them. They put on a really good show for us today, this evening, and remember to follow Speed Gaming, subscribe and follow, and tell your friends about this. This community is growing, and it's a very fun community to be a part of and to be involved with for sure. So definitely, if you're interested, there is some links to be a volunteer for this as well. So
absolutely,
definitely join in the fun.
And speaking of our volunteers, our trackers today are Leve17 and Storm 10 Chunko. So a lot of support, a lot of appreciation to our trackers. Tracking is not easy. Tracking a quad, 2 runners at the same time for each of our trackers is particularly not easy. So our appreciation to them. And while we're in the business of appreciating, Marknificent, it has been a joy being on the mic with you.
It was my pleasure, Firewood King. This was a fun seed to commentate with you, and I hope we get to do this again soon.
Sounds good to me. Unless anybody has anything last words they'd like to take, I think this is going to be it for us from Speed Gaming for now.
All right, on behalf of Speed Gaming and Firewood King and myself, Marknificent, we bid thee farewell until the next seed.